Truth is very interesting because when you're describing the burden of that one has to put on themselves in order to be a good partner and protect the partner from their own worst self, isn't that a little bit untruthful though? Aren't we creating a Barbie and Ken relationship where everything, you're just portraying the better version of yourself and you have an innate like internal struggle that, the other person doesn't see? How truthful is that, right? So I'm not suggesting that we should always, be the worst version of ourselves, but I feel like if there is symmetry, if there's love, if there's understanding, if you know who the person you have next to you is, even if you see, maybe it is at least once a positive to the relationship to see the worst version of that human, because then that's truth. There's no surprise. You know exactly who you deal with, but then once that happens, obviously you have to strive for that to not happen again, right? Like, do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I totally understand, and I totally agree. You cannot have half, the truth. You have to show, both cases. What's important though is to pick a time to show it where you don't offend, you don't injure, you don't create pain, for the other. So if we compare, one way to show your truth is just to attack others and make them feel sadness and pain, and that's very senseless, and you create a very toxic and negative environment, or you do destroy or even end a relationship by doing that. And the other choice that you have, and you just mentioned it, is pick and choose a time which is very emotionally neutral, a time where you can just admit, reveal the worst side of yourself, and just come out and say to your loved one the weaknesses as you see them. In both cases, the revelation of truth will come out. In the first case, in the heat of the moment, your loved one will never understand why you attack them. And in those moments of extreme sadness and pain, the last thing that they want to do is figure out what your truth is, because they're trying to defend themselves. They're desperate enough at that point to come up with their arguments and their attacks to defend themselves, from, your sadness. Where in the second case, being a neutral environment, being an emotionally neutral environment, you're in a situation where it's a discussion, it's a revelation, and it's something that really will stay with the other person and will add value to the relationship. Instead of subtracting value, it will add beauty, because that's a revelation of truth which can only add beauty to a relationship if it's done in that way.